Who the hell can wait till morning? Talk now at latenightsportsradio.com.
Making better decisions than Warren Sapp. It's 87 Sports Fans live on latenightsportsradio.com. I'm Keith Grieve, one of your illustrious hosts.
And I'm Steve Taylor. Hi, man.
Is it too soon for the Warren Sapp joke?
It is. I actually thought you were going to say, as soon as you said making better decisions, I didn't really expect Warren Sapp. I was thinking maybe you were going to say like a Pete Carroll, but...
I figured we'd try to save that for when Jim's on the show, because, I'm sure we have plenty to say.
Oh, very much so.
Which, of course, we're going to talk about it when Jim's here, but let me just get your quickie opinion. But first, let me remind everybody that this and every broadcast is brought to you by CG Imaging. That's cg-imaging.com, CG Imaging, virtually creating reality. Would you have given it to Marshawn Lynch?
Of course I would have. I can understand if they wanted to do like a misdirection, because everyone on planet Earth expected it to go to Marshawn Lynch. To me, if they wanted to go away from Lynch to try to surprise the Patriots, I would have expected something like maybe a Russell Wilson bootleg or something like that. Something where the ball doesn't get thrown. You know, you have the two best running backs on the field yesterday were Marshawn Lynch and Russell Wilson. And the fact that neither one of them ran on that play is just still blows my mind.
It's just funny because you bring out three wide receivers and New England still brings out their goal line package, even though there's three corners. They still bring out their goal line package because not even they believe you're going to pass it in that situation.
But, and there's something that not a lot of people are talking about. The wide receiver in that play, and I apologize, I can't remember exactly who it was for Seattle.
Lockett, I think, wasn't it? No.
I think it might have been. He short-armed that ball. If you look at that replay, if he extended his arms a little bit, that interception never would have happened. But he had his arms completely tucked into his body, waiting for the ball to come to him. So, there were a lot of things wrong with that play, but for some reason, that's one of the components that no one is talking about today. Yeah, which I was surprised about.
And give that corner Butler credit, though. He made a hell of a play.
Oh, it was fantastic.
He bet the house on himself because if he got that play wrong and mistimed it, then he's giving them a first down at the goal line on a pass interference play. But he read it, he anticipated it, and he made the play. And, somebody made the point on Twitter this morning that the Super Bowl came down to a non-drafted free agent that nobody wanted intercepting a pass from a 5'11", third-round quarterback to a free agent signee wide receiver. I love football.
Yeah. That's what's great about football.
Yeah. Well,
there's the biggest stars are not the ones that get drafted in the first round, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll talk about all that with Jim Saranteas from thefantasygreek.com when he joins us, as he does every week. If you want to join the discussion, folks, the phone number is 585-633-7487, 585-633-7487. Well, Steve, I think it's happening.
What's that?
The Atlanta Hawks streak is coming to an end.
There's still almost 3 minutes. Let's not get hasty.
I don't know. It's 107 to 91.
16 points. Yeah.
107 to 91. They're in New Orleans. Atlanta slow out of the gates in this one, getting outscored 32-22 in the first quarter. And then they have apparently surrendered to the unibrow. Anthony Davis, 12 of 23 from the floor for 27 points, 12 boards, and only 2 fouls. You know how hard that is to play defense like that and win this and only get called for 2 fouls? Yeah. I mean, I know you know, but I'm just saying out loud.
But we discussed he's such an unbelievable talent. I mean, I didn't know if there would be in the way that basketball has been maturing over the last few seasons, I didn't know if there was going to be another superstar like a LeBron, like a Kobe. I thought those days might be done. I thought we were going to see a lot of wannabes and a lot of middle of the roads, but not like a standout superstar. But Anthony Davis truly is. I mean, in my opinion, he's the second coming of Tim Duncan. He's this versatile player that I think in the long run could create a dynasty. I don't know if it'll be in New Orleans, because who knows with the way these superstars are jumping teams every other week, if he'll be able to stay in New Orleans and help build something there, or if he's going to go elsewhere. But I think wherever he lands, once he fully matures, he's just going to be the absolute anchor on a dynasty team, the next dynasty team.
And who is bearing the brunt of Anthony Davis? Paul Millsap, 5 of 14 from the floor for 15 points. 5 of 14 when you play most of your game within 6-7 feet of the basket.
Mm.
That's a rough night. Rough night.
It's like what the Lakers used to say about Bill Russell. He wasn't very tall and he wasn't as dominating a force as Wilt Chamberlain, but he made you change your shot. And that's kind of what Anthony Davis does. Even if you're down low and you have a high percentage shot, he will make you think twice. And when you're doing even a simple sky hook, if you have to decide in a split second if it's the right shot or not, it's going to put it off by enough that you're not going to be as accurate.
And near and dear to your heart, the Atlanta's 13 of 15 from the free throw line, and New Orleans is 17 of 20.
Oh,
I can hear you beaming over the internet.
Well, it blows my mind still that there are people that can't shoot free throws, but it seems like it's a problem that's improving. At least over this season, it seems like free throw percentages are going up. Some of the guys that have had their issues are improving, maybe not incredibly, but at least somewhat. Where it seems like back in the day with the Shaq days and whatnot, it was more of a joke, and it was something that they were never going to get better at, which to me is the easiest thing to improve. Because you could sit at a free throw line with somebody rebounding for you for hours and just continuously take shots.
Well, it's the same thing that we talk. It's the only shot in any sport in America where it doesn't change from your driveway to the pros. I mean, you could say that, I guess, about a soccer goal, but when you're out there kicking soccer balls in the middle of a park, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess it's different in an NBA arena too, but at the same time,
unless it was, unless it was your parents' driveway and it was Mike Burdick shooting.
No, then he couldn't miss.
Then he couldn't miss.
It was unfair.
It depends on the drive, Mikey.
He was always, well, there's home court advantage even in driveway basketball.
Especially in driveway basketball.
Especially because they had that little baseline falling out of bounds jump shot that I knew just how to hit on my that I could not duplicate in any other setting but my driveway.
You would have been proud of me. Today at work I had a little flashback. I had my back turned to a garbage can that was a good 15 feet from me. And I was talking to a bunch of employees, and I just threw it over my head, and it went into the garbage can. And they're like, "Ooh!" I was like, "Well, I wasn't the best horse player for nothing."
No, you made a habit of making those ridiculous shots.
Oh, I miss those days. I really do.
Like, I've never seen more adults just scratch their head repeatedly than playing against you.
And this is what I'm terrified for. I have some of my employees who, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to be turning 39 this year, and which you turn tomorrow, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Happy early birthday, Keith. Sounds like they said ew.
Yeah, same thing. The kids don't like it.
I had a couple of my employees who are in their early 20s to late teens that said, "Oh, you got to come play basketball with us," which I want to so bad. but I know that after 5 minutes, I'm going to need to be carted off the floor on a stretcher.
I'm dying. I haven't played since the last time we played at our connection there on Saturday afternoons.
That was a long time ago.
It was a long
that was
time
years.
Ago. Long time ago. So, getting back to this Pelicans-Hawks game, though. Hawks getting out-rebounded by 18, 50-32. 17 offensive rebounds. So, again, we go back to Anthony Davis. That's the difference maker right there. Down under. Getting all the dirty work. Although they do have 11 turnovers, but...
Well, I don't know. I'm having my issues trying to make sense of the NBA. I've had it for a few years, and I'm having it even more this year. I just have my issues trying to make any heads or tails of it. You'll have a team that will turn the ball over a million times, and anytime that happens, you shouldn't win the game, but they'll still win by 20 points. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And you have teams that don't make free throws, but they make enough high percentage shots, and I don't know. It seems like the fundamentals of the game don't matter anymore.
No,
game has progressed to a point to where it is just a freestyle, anything goes type of sport.
Well, let's look at a game like Brooklyn and the Clippers today. Brooklyn beats the Clippers 102-100, which, if you're the Clippers and you want to be taken seriously, I'm sorry, that just can't happen. That's one of those things. It's like when the Bulls lose to the Lakers, can't not take you seriously.
Yeah.
And then you look at a stat like Brooklyn shot 49% from the floor. The Clippers shot 47%. You know, so how do you end up losing like that? Well, because Brooklyn made 12 threes, the Clippers only made 8 threes. It's and then you look at the Clippers' free throws, 8 of 25 from the free throw line.
Yeah.
The Brooklyn Nets, 8 of 18. So you had like the complete reverse. Like you said, fundamentals don't matter. Like nobody should win a game shooting under 50% from the free throw line as a team.
Yeah. Unless
they play somebody that shoots 32% from the free throw line.
And I just said that people are making better free throws, which it is true. On a whole, the NBA has improved its free throw shooting. But then you have somebody like DeAndre Jordan, a true talent, 10 for 13 from the field, 2 for 12 from the free throw line.
Well, is he really?
That's the game right there. He makes half of his free throws and they win the game. Half of 12 free throws. If he shoots 50%, they win the game.
Is DeAndre Jordan really a true talent?
I'd say so.
Well,
he had 22 points, 20 rebounds. He's one of those guys that he's improving every year, but I believe he's a true talent.
I'm looking at his shot chart from tonight. Okay. And so for those of you that are unaware, I've never done this before, on ESPN.com, if you look at the game cast, you can see the shot chart for players, and they put a circle by everywhere a shot was made by said player. And he apparently made 10 field goals. I see 1 dot. All at the hoop. All of his offense comes at the hoop on dunks or layups.
Well, and that's the thing. That's where for a true center like he is, that's where they should come from. That's the problem, I think, is nowadays in the NBA, you expect your centers to be shooting from farther. Centers, in my opinion, should still be. They should have their butts under the board, rebounding and making high percentage shots.
Oh,
to go with that, you need to be ready to go to the free throw line at a moment's notice and make at least 60% of your free throws as a center, and that's minimal.
He had 20 rebounds, yay for him. But like you said, the 10 missed free throws. That's the difference in the game.
That is. Well, and also the Clippers, the big problem they've had in the Doc Rivers era is their defense just sucking eggs. And when you're playing against a team like Brooklyn, who's not an awful team, but they're in no means a top team in the NBA, and you give up 64 points in the second half to them, you can't do that. On the road, at home, you just You just can't. And